Paranormal Activity. Now, I heard a lot about this movie. I heard that it was pretty scary. I heard that, it's one of the scarier found footage movies, and I'll agree, it is a pretty good found footage movie. For just being a home recorded, it's a decent movie, but that's not saying much. That would be like me comparing it to like 8mm films, like 8mm homemade movies. The production value is okay, but I mean, what possessed them to put this out as a Hollywood movie, as a movie I should go see in the theater? Oh, this movie was so just boring, and it just kind of plodded along, and it's like that, when you're in the neighborhood with your friends and you have the fat kid behind you. He's your friend, but he's kind of the kid that just tags along. He's the fat kid that can never keep up. That was this movie. And yeah, he's good at bringing snacks, and bringing some entertainment so you can laugh at him. But other than that, he's just the slow kid. No one pays any attention to him. Why is this movie even popular? Why did they make a sequel? This is not sequel material. Ugh. First of all, the characters are so annoying. The characters are so terrible. Especially the boyfriend. The boyfriend is the biggest douchebag ever recorded on film. He's just like, hey baby, I know there's a ghost in my house, there's a demon in my house, but I'm too cool to let it get me down. He's just the biggest douchebag, because at every turn, this is the guy that makes it worse. It's like if Jason was running after you with a machete, and he just like painted a big target on your back and tripped you. That's the kind of guy this guy is. He's such a douche. This is the guy that baffles me. What's he do when they tell him not to bring a Ouija board into the house, not to communicate this thing and piss it off? He comes in the house with a Ouija board and pisses it off. He like opens up the door for this thing to completely possess his girlfriend. I was so ecstatic when that guy got iced at the end of the movie. I was so happy that she killed him, because he was just the biggest dick. What really made me laugh was the scene where he puts baby powder on the floor. He's like, I got this, I want to handle this. I don't want to call in any professional like I should have done 2 weeks ago. I'm going to handle this. I'm the man. You're my girlfriend. This is my house. And I'm like, what an idiot. Because all he does, he puts baby powder on the floor to check to see if this thing's in the house. And I'm thinking, okay, this thing is opening and slamming doors, it's breaking stuff in your house, and what do? You put baby powder on the floor. You put baby powder. What is that supposed to do? What? Are you gonna make the freaking demon smell fresh and clean on his feet? Like, what is that gonna do? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. And he never explains it. He never explains what the baby powder is there for. He's just like, I did some research. And that's how he was the whole movie. I was doing some research. That doesn't help us any. There's a demon in the house. We need a freaking exorcist. I feel like at every single turn in the movie, he's belittling her, which is just so uncool. Where did you find this guy, lady? He just, like, opened you up to demonic possession. Good pick. But really, what gets me is just how much of this movie was just random noises and random things moving. That doesn't scare me. I'm not in the 3rd grade anymore. Something knocking on the wall, or moving around, ooh, that doesn't scare me. I want something scary. The last 15 minutes of this movie are really what you're paying for. I would recommend just going on YouTube and just watching the last 15-20 minutes of the movie, and that's about it. the rest of this movie is like a Halloween trick. I mean, it's like when the kids burn a bag of dog shit on your front doorstep and leave it there, and that's what this movie is like. It's terrible. The best part of the movie is where she ices him. This scene, though, was so laughable. I even chuckled because she gets out of bed and she proceeds to have another, what I could only call the laziest staring contest in the world. And she just stands over the bed for a while. Then she goes downstairs and she starts screaming her head off, you know. And the boyfriend, he jumps out of bed, runs downstairs. He's like, "Yo, baby, I'm gonna take care of this." I just almost busted out laughing because these demonic sounds are going on. She's screaming, he screams, and then you hear this odd, like, metal bending sound. But it doesn't sound like someone slamming up against a fridge or someone getting stabbed or any of that kind of stuff. It sounds like someone took a saw and just bent it. I mean, honestly, when I heard that, I was like, what are they getting into a street fight with a Foley artist? Are you kidding me? That doesn't sound scary. That's hilarious. But the best part is where she throws him into the camera after coming back upstairs and looks at the camera, smiles, and then that's the end of the movie. That's your jump scare because the demon comes out of her face or whatever. And the alternate ending, that ending wasn't any better. All that happens is she comes upstairs, you know, sands the boyfriend and just slits her throat. But she's got blood all over her clothes or whatever, so it establishes that she kills him. And it just wasn't scary. I spent more of my time thinking about how this movie could be improved instead of actually enjoying it, because there was little enjoyment to be had. But other than that, it had a few good parts in it where, you know, she gets pulled out of the bed and, you know, some of the cool stuff that happens. But for the most part, it's just third grade scares, things moving around, people knocking on stuff. My recommendation for this movie is to just watch the last 15-20 minutes of it on YouTube and just be done with it. Don't go out and buy this piece of junk. Just leave it for the freaking Netflix, you know, if you're bored one day.